Hello, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation where we will be discussing the UnitedHealthcare Chamber Program in partnership with the Elgin Area Chamber. So let me do a quick little introduction on myself. My name is Christian DeVito. I am the Executive Vice President of IX Solutions. IX Solutions is an insurance brokerage located in the Chicagoland area. We work with several chambers and have a lot of experience working with chambers, a strong partnership with UnitedHealthcare, and as of recently, a member of the Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce. So for today's agenda, we're going to discuss, talk about UnitedHealthcare, the level funded chamber plan, additional value adds, and then how to get started. Very excited about this. This is a great benefit that the chamber is offering to business members. So let's go ahead and jump into it. UnitedHealthcare is owned by UnitedHealth Group, a very large company. And I wanted to just give a little bit of background about UnitedHealthcare because this is a strong partner with the chamber and not just some local insurance plan that is brand new. This is a well-established company, one of the largest carriers in the country. And then the two things that I wanted to highlight is the network access, over 900,000 for physicians, and 5,600 hospitals. So especially in the Chicagoland area, there is a very strong presence with UnitedHealthcare and the doctors and hospitals that they contract with. So why are we talking about this chamber plan? How did this come about? What is the background behind this? I wanted to show a stat that says that 69% of plan sponsors or employers have reported an increase in cost from 2015 to 2019. I know that's a little older, but I can tell you that trend has not been any different in the past couple of years. We've continuously seen the cost of insurance increase from year to year. It is climbing at a very fast pace, and for smaller businesses, small to mid-sized businesses, it's sometimes becoming unreasonable. Or their business are asking themselves, should I even be offering benefits to my employees because of how expensive it is? So what is UnitedHealthcare doing about this? What is the chamber doing about this? This is where this partnership with the chamber, the Elgin Area Chamber, and UnitedHealthcare really comes into play because both UHC and the chamber are very interested and very concerned about their small to mid-sized businesses and want to make sure that they can help out any way that they can. So what is the answer to that? It is the level funded plans. So these are the plans that are available underneath this chamber program. So I'm going to give a high-level overview of level funded plans and then really dive a little bit deeper into it over the next couple of slides, because this is really the meat of the program and why this makes these plans so special. So what does level funded mean? This is a health insurance plan. It's a group health insurance plan. And at the start of each plan year, a portion of the funds or premium cover anticipated claim expenses. And those premiums remain level each month. So you never pay more than what gets established up front at the beginning of the year. That's where the term level funded comes into, is because the premiums remain level. So the funds that are set aside are the premiums that you're paying each month, just like any other group health insurance plan. And the higher the anticipated claims, the higher the premiums. So you may ask yourself, how are they establishing those premiums? How do they know if they may get higher, more claims than anticipated? That is because the premiums are actually based on the medical history of the employees at the company. So there is medical underwriting, and the UnitedHealthcare would take a look at the overall risk and establish premiums based on the risk of the company. So how does that actually work? Well, you pay a fixed monthly premium, and it acts just like any other group health insurance plan. If your employees don't meet the expected claim amount, so if not as many claims are filed throughout the year as anticipated, those unused funds actually go back into your pocket, which they consider a surplus. And the average surplus for UnitedHealthcare in Illinois is around $11,600. So at the end of every year, businesses that are utilizing these level funded plans are getting on average almost $12,000 back in their pocket in the form of a check. If your employees exceed the claim amount, so if there's more claims filed than anticipated, you're going to continue to pay the same fixed monthly premium, and that may be reflected in the renewal, just like any other group health plan that following year. So who qualifies for this? Well, business members of the chamber with a minimum of 2 full-time employees. So I'm going to give a little bit more background behind these level funded plans. And by doing that, I think it's helpful to first lay out what are fully funded or fully insured plans, self-funded plans, and then what are level funded, as you can see on the screen. So fully funded or fully insured are plans that most small businesses are familiar with. Fully funded meaning that the risk is completely taken on by the insurer, or UnitedHealthcare in this instance. And the premiums that are essentially set at the beginning of the year are supposed to cover the risk pool and then obviously build in profit for the company as well. Those are considered ACA plans, or Affordable Care Act plans, are fully insured. And those rates, if you've had experience with an ACA plan in the past, the rates are strictly based off of the age of the members, and that is because the carrier cannot underwrite the group or the employees underneath the company. So they just anticipate the older the member, the higher the rate. And the renewals are not specifically based on a single business or the risk in that business. It's really kind of community rating. So as you're probably familiar, each year, ACA or fully insured rates just continue to increase. And these level funded plans are really a target market for the ACA space. There's really a lot of businesses that are in the ACA space are looking at these level funded plans. So what are self-funded or what are self-insured plans? This is where the employer is responsible for all of the claim payments. There's often, they have a help of a TPA or essentially a backup, which is stop loss insurance. And this is to really cap the risk exposure for that employer. Because the employer is responsible for all those claims, they're really unpredictable. You don't know if an employee is going to get sick across the year or not. As you can tell, these are definitely more geared for larger employers because they have more employees, they can diversify risk. For small to mid-sized companies, this is not usually the first thing I would recommend would be looking at self-insured. Self-insured plans are also not subject to state regulations, and there are out-of-pocket exposures could either be positive or negative because it's really, there's no, it's not predictable what's going to happen throughout the year. So self-insured usually comes with a little bit of fear when that's mentioned for smaller and mid-sized businesses because it can be a little risky. Now back to level funded, these are essentially a middle ground between the fully insured or the fully funded and the self-funded world. And these are specifically built for small to mid-sized businesses. And they're there to really maximize the benefit that you get out of a health insurance plan. They're manageable. Like I said, they're stable or level monthly premiums, and they minimize risk. There's no exposure like how there is in a self-funded world because the company is not on the hook for any claims or higher than anticipated claims that come up throughout the year. But similar to self-insured, they're not subject to all state regulations, so there's some tax benefits within these plans. And so you may ask, what are these premiums used for? I'm paying these premiums to this level funded plan. What are they used for? How does it work? Well, when paying these premiums, they go to the claims paid fund. There's that stop loss that goes into the premium, and there's specific plan administration, and then potential claims that will be incurred but not yet reported in the following year. So there's that bucket that you're paying these premiums to, which actually help fund any claims, but you're not at risk for any claims that go up and above what's initially anticipated. So what are the primary advantages? I mentioned it's affordable. There would typically see around 20 to 25% savings when comparing these level funded plans to the fully insured plans. And that's because you may have an older demographic that's actually a pretty healthy risk pool. So instead of being penalized in the fully insured world just by being older and having a higher rate, you actually get a rate that is true to the risk of that specific group. And then also, if there's any unused claims, you get that refund in the form of a surplus at the end of the year. There's also greater predictability, better cash flow. This is definitely compared to that self-insurance world because the premiums are predictable. It's going to be set and they're going to remain level for 12 months within that contract, just like how it is with a fully insured plan. More transparency and control. So in the fully insured world, you can't see really what goes into, why my rate's going higher this year, what happened, what claims are filed. With these level funded plans, you get a lot more reporting, which ultimately helps you to manage the risk or the experience of the employees better. You can say, a lot of my employees are going to the emergency room for something that is not necessary. You could just go out into urgent care for that. You can see that type of data, help educate your employees, that ultimately lowers the claims. And then lastly, the chamber discount. So by being a member of the Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce, you automatically receive a 5% discount on the annual premium of your plan. So it can be very, very attractive, a lot of savings by that 5%. This is a visual or an illustration that I really like to put out there just to kind of explain more how this surplus, I've thrown that term out a lot. So as you can see on the left-hand side, this is the worst case scenario. And those first two sections, the projected medical, pharmacy, and claims cost, and the other fixed cost, that is what is made up of the fixed monthly payment, so the premium that you pay each month. So if those are a little bit higher than anticipated, you can see that lighter box at the very top, the claims overrun. If there is up and above more claims than anticipated that is factored into the total monthly payment, UnitedHealthcare will pay up and above that amount. So there's no risk for the small business member because the carrier will take on that extra claims overrun. Now, what happens if there is, the best case scenario, if there's low claims? As you can see, that you have the fixed cost, you have the actual medical and pharmacy claims costs, which are lower than the one on the left, and the surplus refund revenue. And then there's that top part, which is the refund to the health plan. So with these UnitedHealthcare level funded plans, you will receive a check at the end of the year that you will, based on how much surplus there was, based on good medical and pharmacy claims that came throughout the year. I do want to point out that obviously because the UnitedHealthcare is looking at the medical history, this is for those plans that are in the better risk pool. So if you do have, if UnitedHealthcare looks at the medical history and does provide those, it sees that there's more risk than anticipated, then it's probably best for that company to actually stay in the fully insured world. So this is a great solution for companies that has medium to better risk. For those on the not as good risk, you're in the right spot. You're in the fully insured ACA world. So how do you get a quote? With these plans, you have separated in two different scenarios. There's businesses with less than 10 employees or that have never had coverage before. In that scenario, each employee would need to fill out an individual medical questionnaire, or the IMQ. This can be completed online through a very simple, straightforward process, or it can be filled out manually on a PDF, either handwritten or typed in on a computer. How about businesses with 10 or more employees? You can actually get a quote back, and they can underwrite and look at the medical risk based off of a census that needs to have certain data points in there. See the name of the individual, the date of birth, their gender, and the home zip code. I will say that rates, what we found is that rates have always been more accurate and more favorable if employees complete the IMQs regardless of size. It's obviously easier just to submit a census rather than having each employee fill out that medical questionnaire. But the more data they have, the more accurate they can actually give those rates. All right, so now that was the overview of the level funded plans and the plans that are offered to chamber members and the discount associated with it. But these level funded plans just aren't a straight up health plan where they're just providing health insurance and that's it. There are several other value adds that are included in these level funded plans. So they're listed on the screen here. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into each one. All right, the first one is Healthiest You. This is a great program. It's also referred to as, you heard of teledoc. So it's essentially you can video chat with a doctor, or even a behavioral health therapist. So mental health is a big thing over the past couple of years, and employers want to make sure they're offering it to their employees. Well, now you could offer it through this Healthiest You, and it is a teledoc or telemedicine. So employees are able to, like I said, video chat. They can get a second opinion. If you go to the doctor about a knee injury, every time you go to the doctor and knee injury, there is a cost associated with that. If you want to get a second opinion, instead of scheduling another doctor's appointment, going in person, spending that money, you could have the Healthiest You individuals doctors can take a look at any of the tests that they've ran or anything diagnosis just to get a second opinion, and it's not going to cost anything more. They can help you search for provider and compare costs as well as prescriptions. And really the biggest thing I think with this Healthiest You program is as you file essentially claims or you talk to somebody over the video chat or therapist, these claims are not going towards the UnitedHealthcare level funded bucket. So instead of going to an in-person visit and then having that doctor file a claim, which goes back to the carrier, this is completely separate and outside, which ultimately will help lower the claims upon renewal. The next is the UnitedHealthcare Motion program. So this is really a wellness benefit to encourage employees to move. And this is a kind of a unique program where there's 3 different targets to hit. There's a goal each day. And when you hit that goal, you are able to receive dollars back. Ultimately, you could receive that in a gift card, or you could, if you have an HSA, you could transfer those funds to your HSA account. So this is a great way. The more you move, the more money you make. The other benefit, value add, is Rally. So this is a benefit that leverages new and emerging technology to offer exciting tools, games, applications, and rewards to ultimately engage employees in managing their health. So the goal of Rally is to really help bridge that gap between a person's desire to get healthy and the steps and the tools that they actually need to get healthy. The next value add is Real Appeal. So this is a lifestyle and weight management program. So you can use this value add to speak to a coach or be a part of a group class to ultimately help you live a healthier lifestyle. All right, and then the last value add here is called Mineral. So this is a partnership between UnitedHealthcare and Mineral. Mineral was a combination of, if you heard of Think HR or Mammoth, they combined together to create Mineral. And this is essentially an outsourced HR program that you can lean on. So they partner with UnitedHealthcare for these level funded plans, partnership with the chamber. And this really provides a huge support and value add for small to mid-sized companies. The reason I say that is because small to mid-sized companies may not have a full functioning HR division within their company. And so it may be you as a business owner, or somebody that does not typically focus their full day on HR, has to be the one that takes on these HR duties. And so what does somebody do if they have questions? Well, this is where Mineral can really come in and help those individuals and organizations. So whether it's compliance issues, employee benefits, if there's just employee management, if somebody needs to take a leave of absence, what documents do they need to provide to them? If someone gets terminated, what do you do then? What steps do you take to make sure that you're doing everything you should be doing within compliance? As well as safety and recruiting and hiring. That's a big part of the HR functionalities. And with Mineral, they are a go-to resource for all of these topics. You have a portal that you can log into. You have an HR hotline. There's systems where you can create documents, so an employee handbook. Anytime that there is a new rule or new regulation that comes up within your employee handbook, you can actually set up where it automatically updates that, held online within the Mineral portal. So it's really a great benefit, and even full functioning HR divisions may not know the answer to everything. So this is something that they could lean on as well, just as a fallback, or just another set of eyes to take a look at what they're doing on a day-to-day basis and how they should be communicating to their employees. These are a couple stats about Mineral, just about the savings and the impact. You can see there's organizations that saves estimated 10,000 or more just in the labor and the HR technology, because it can become quite expensive. Time that's being saved by not having to worry about these types of HR and compliance administration. So it's a really great program for all organizations of all sizes to lean on, and this is at no additional cost within these level funded plans. So how do you get started? I'm hoping you want to learn more, want to take a look at the quotes, and how to save money on your health insurance, because it's continuing to get more and more expensive. So the first step is to visit the page that the Elgin Chamber built specifically for this program. Got the link right there. And when you click on that page, you'll see a button to complete a quote or request a quote. So when you request a quote, you'll need to fill out a contact form that has just high-level information. And then once that is submitted, a consultant from my team, from the Ag Solutions team, will be reaching out to ultimately gather that census information. So with that census information, depending on the size or if the company had previous experience or group plan, we'll either be able to submit that or we'll need to collect those individual medical questionnaires. The last thing is completing the chamber attestation form. Make sure that you are an active chamber and correctly taking advantage of this benefit. So we're very excited. This is a very great benefit overall, with just the level funded plans, the discount, and all the value adds added in. So if you do have any questions, here's an email, a phone number for you to give me or somebody on my team a call just to learn more, or go ahead and submit that form to get that quoting process started. So I want to thank thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation, and looking forward to working together. Thank you.